Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, October 31st. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 days worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, INTS, the talk of town today. Big volume, big movement, and got to think a lot of people will be watching this one moving into Friday. So let's get some levels mapped out here. So first area to keep an eye on, in my opinion, is going to be this general area right here. Get them up a little bit more. There we go. And then on the same time, we have a nice pattern because we have a very clean area of support down here as that lower area. Let's change that to green. And then just to make the pattern easier to see, let's all keep it the same color. So we have an area of resistance. We have an area of support. And then we have the big upwards move right there. And then a few golfers out there, put the golf hole down here. And this would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, let me be very clear, and I wish I could say trading was this easy. Just because it's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed that the price is going to go upwards. But is it valid? Is it logical to think that if the price consolidates out and then breaks up through there, that this break right here could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a valid question to throw out there as a realistic outcome. So again, not guaranteed, but a plausible outcome. So if you like this price range, you like bull pennant patterns, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, HBIO. Kind of tricky to talk about. Not kind of. It is tricky to talk about from a presentation standpoint because it's all about perspective. What do I mean? Well, if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought up there and your plan was to buy and sell within a few minutes, well then yes, from that standpoint, things look really, really bad because there was a very big pullback. But if you do care about things from more so the broader picture, then you still do overall have the chance for the price to maintain above this trend line here that's been established. And you can see over the course of time, this trend line with the upwards angle, the price has been staying above it. And even right now, nice little candle here forming at the trend line. As I've said, and we'll probably say a dozen more times, there are no guarantees. But at this point, nice candle at this trend line. Is it valid to think that you could get some sort of bounce in the upwards direction? Yeah, I think that is a very reasonable possibility. Again, not guaranteed to happen. That's why risk management matters. Now, if the price does pull back more and breaks down through that trend line, at that point, I'm not going to call it a do or die level, but certainly a very, very important level. Let me make it look a little different. Of support would be down here right around the 55-cent mark. But so far, so good. The price is maintaining that trend line. So can the overall uptrend continue? Can this build a higher low and get a bounce off from that trend line? We'll see what happens. Next one here, CMBM, and once again, same idea of what I just talked about. Very tricky to talk about. Day traders, flippers, scalpers. If you bought right here or you bought the dip right there and your plan was to buy and sell within a few minutes, yeah, not good looking for you at all with the bigger pullback. With all that said, from the big picture standpoint, let's look at it from a different angle. And I'm not saying this will occur, but just for example's sake, let's say the price drops even further and then comes down to $2.92. And then behaves like this and starts to work its way back up. Now, emphasis here on big picture. From the big picture standpoint, what do you have? Well, you'd have a set of lows here. You'd have lows here. You'd have these lows down here. And if you envision each of these as stair steps, what do you have? Again, big picture, stair steps still clearly going in the upwards direction. Again, I'm well aware. I understand that if you're a day trader and you bought right here, you definitely do not care about these stair steps. That's where I'm trying to make the distinction between more of a day trader versus someone that cares about the bigger picture point of view. So no doubt about it today, very, very nasty pullback. But think about that word today, as in one day. Looking at multiple days, which is what we're doing here, you can see the price does still have a chance to build a higher base. So we'll see if the bulls can get that job done or not. Next one, SOXS, and we have ourselves a very interesting situation. So yes, this thing has been getting beat down, but to be fair, right now we have some progress being made in the upwards direction. But I do understand me just using the word progress is just a word. But that's why I like charts. They allow you to take words and make them very visual. So when I say progress, staying above that green line right there. As long as the price is above there, and things could get wild, the price could, come all the way up here and then come all the way down here. Come here and come down, and then come all the way up here and then come all the way down. And I mean, you could have a wild ride, but as long as the price is above that, level, then you can see that does imply the price is continuing to build those higher bases. So in other words, as long as the price stays above that green line, the price is making good quality progress, and that is how I'm defining good quality progress. Now, in terms of areas of resistance, main battleground right now seems to be right there around $3.35. You can see right here, rejected the price, and then again, rejected it right there. So 335, public enemy number one going into Friday. But like I said, there is progress the past couple of days. Let's see if the price continues to make that quality progress. Next one here, ASST, and we have just a very interesting dynamic, and maybe it's because I love charts and I'm just geeking out over this and it's not that big of a deal. But again, I just like these things, the power of charts. But notice this pink line here, which is the very famous, the very well-known 200 period moving average. And this is exactly why. Now, right here, I realized not perfectly bounce off it, but got very close. Right there, perfectly bounce off of it. Right here, not perfectly bounce off it, a little bit down below. And then you look at it right now, and we are well within distance of that level. And if you notice maybe a pattern, got close, bounce, got close, bounce, got close, bounce. So does that mean that for sure guaranteed it is going to bounce? I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that at least a valid thought? Is it a plausible possibility? Absolutely. Not guaranteed to happen, but more than plausible. So just like I said, if you like these sorts of situations, if you like this price range, then yeah, let's see if history repeats itself. Real quick, want to take a break and help you solve a very common problem that maybe you're experiencing, and that is you'd like to be a day trader, and I define day trader as having unlimited day trades every single day. So you can make as many trades as you want every single day, but you can't because of the pattern day trading rule. Well, please be aware that there is a market out there, and there is a way to go about day trading this market that allows you to make as many trades as you want every single day, and quite frankly, very, very little risk to your own capital. Now, I'm well aware that this all sounds scammy. This all sounds too good to be true. I get it, which is why I say, hey, come see it with your very own eyes. It's what I've been doing, and I've been live streaming every day, 11 a.m., and I go for a few hours. So you are more than welcome to come check out the live stream, see it with your very own eyes, and ask me any sort of questions that you may have. But please understand that if you would like to be a day trader, you do not have to put up with that ridiculous pattern day trading rule. Next one here, BYND. Talked about this pattern here, and the pattern just did not really turn out to fruition. It gapped down, came down through it. So at least it was polite. What would impolite look like? Well, where the price comes up here, breaks out, acts like it wants to be strong, and then dumps. This one just flat out gapped down. So the bleeding here continues on BYND. And yeah, when this was booming, I saw a lot of crazy price targets on it. But if you believed any of those, hopefully you take away the lesson that be very careful what people are saying on social media about these price targets. Because like I said, I saw some really crazy ones. Anyways, as far as moving forward in terms of this, from a trading standpoint, what makes this interesting is the price has gone nicely sideways. Now, let me be very clear. Just because the price has gone sideways does not mean for sure guaranteed it's done going down and this is going to go back up. It's just plausible. Case in point, if the price was still just dropping, and I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like nice, this could be some sort of bottom, you'd be totally justified to say, well, based on what? The price is literally still going down. Well, that's not the case here. It has at least started to go sideways. So again, does that mean that this is for sure the bottom? No, but it's definitely gone sideways. We have this little range. So if you like these situations where you can have a nice little risk versus reward, assuming, of course, you're going to be disciplined and respect stop losses, then yeah, I could see this thing maybe trying to get some sort of bounce here to close out the week. So we'll see what happens. Next one here, NVDA. And like some of these other ones, it's all about perspective. So yes, the day traders that bought right there, maybe the day trader that bought right there, and we're looking to sell very quickly. Yes, it's pulled back from those areas, but all in all, big picture, still plenty of opportunity to build a higher base. And I would say that the cleanest way to understand and view that would just be to watch that purple line right there, which you know is the 50-period moving average. And as long as the price stays above that area, then the price is doing perfectly fine. Even if the price were to drop below there, sure, that's kind of a sign of weakness, but I still would not say that, NVIDIA's destroyed, nothing like that. Now, if the price came down to the pink line and dropped below that, that's a different story, but that line is way below where the price currently is at. So keep an eye on those from a support standpoint. And then resistance-wise, all I got to do there is extend that trend line down. So continue to watch that as the main battleground from the resistance side of things. But again, assuming you care about the grand scheme of it all, the overall chart, so there's plenty of opportunity to build that higher base. Next one, CVU. Ugly looking chart, but there is a little bit of intrigue. Now, if you don't find any of this intriguing, well then, hey, fair enough. You're not going to be watching this one tomorrow. But let's just quickly go through the history of things. The price had the gap up, went all the way up here, and then got absolutely destroyed. And it got down to this purple line here. And at this point, it's like, okay, is this officially just a total pump and dump, gap and trap? And then at the purple line, which you now know, like I mentioned previously, the 50-period moving average, then what happened? It started to go sideways. And now what's happening in the last 30 minutes? Check this out. A bit of a green candle. So does this guarantee anything? Say it with me. No, Clay. You said it 8 million times. There are no guarantees. Agreed. But in my mind, this is now very interesting. It's gotten hammered down. It's gone sideways. And now it's starting to creep upward. So is this a leading indicator that maybe there's some more upwards bounce on Friday? Maybe not. That's why stop losses, that's why risk management is very, very important. But if this is the start of a bigger bounce, then hey, maybe we could be looking at a very interesting situation for Friday. So grab your popcorn and we'll see what happens. Next one here, OPEN. Bad day today, not necessarily because it was a red day, but just from a technical standpoint, the price had been doing a very good job of staying up above the pink line there, which I just talked about previously, is that 200 period moving average. And you can see on Wednesday there, both there and there, try to stay above it, and it was a support. But then today, the price broke down below it, and then just classic technical analysis, when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance, and that's exactly what happened right there. So now moving forward, that is going to be the main battleground and initial area of resistance. Now, to be fair, yeah, last 30 minutes here, good solid candle. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done, and that first bit of quote-unquote work that needs to be done is getting back above and staying above that pink line. 200 period moving average, currently valued at 752. So keep an eye on that. Resistance-wise, in terms of areas of support, pretty straightforward. Just a question of where did the bleeding finally stop? And the bleeding finally stopped several times right down there around basically $7.10. You can see right there several times, and then once there a couple more times this afternoon. So keep an eye right around 710, 712 as that main area of support. But yeah, never a good thing when the price closes down below that pink line, but we'll see if the price can try to recover back above it on Friday. Next one here, TSLA Tesla. And on the note of that pink line, 200 period moving average, hopefully that stood out like a sore thumb, because right away you can see midday bounce off it and then came right back down, and then right there closed at that level. So the big question, at least in my mind, is this going to be some sort of double bottom bounce? Last time the price was there, nice bounce. Doesn't mean it'll happen again, but it's certainly a plausible scenario. So yes, all eyes going to be watching that pink line there, that 200 period moving average. I'm actually going to get rid of that, as is up there as kind of, I don't want to have too much clutter. So keep an eye on that initial area as support. And then the next key level will be down there right around that gap close of 434. Now, gaps do not have to close. Think about that. If something has to happen, that means it's guaranteed, and there are no guarantees in the market. But gaps often do close. So if that pink line there cannot quite hold up, again, no guarantees, but I don't think anybody would be shocked to see the price at minimum go down to 434, if not even potentially lower than that. If the price does try to bounce and just goes back to that initial rule that I talked about, when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So on any sort of bounce, if you do get some sort of kind of like double bottom, initial battleground right there at 449. And really at this point, I'll just get rid of that level, as it's not really relevant anymore given where the price currently is at. So yes, very, very interesting dynamic here for Tesla headed into Friday. So we'll see if it gets the double bottom bounce or not. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you want to put yourself in a market where there's no pattern day trader rule, the markets open up pretty much around the clock. And quite frankly, it moves way better than penny stocks and small caps and low floats anyways, and you have very little of your own capital at risk, then definitely check out what I've been doing. But I understand, as I say that out loud, people are like, it just sounds like such a sleazy thing. Sounds too good to be true. I get it. So come swing by the live stream, see with your very own eyes, ask me any sort of questions, and I'd be happy to provide any sort of clarity too. So hopefully you do that, and hopefully I'll see you on the live stream. So take care, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that like button. And like I said, hopefully I will indeed see you on the live stream.